NA TI11 Regional Qualifiers. All right, we got predictions, Cinderin.
Yep.
Which team will win? I'm going to say 5RAT.
I did that as well, and then I said 0 smoke ganks.
Total number of smoke gank kills by 10 minutes. You don't
10
think
minutes
any?
is pretty early. Yeah, I said 0. It might be 1.
I'm going to say 1 just to be different.
Total number of towers, I said 0 to 5. That could be wrong, actually. That's
Total
I'll
number
say
of
6
towers
to 10.
killed
6 to 10.
before. Okay, I'm going to say 0 to 5.
And then number of smoke kills at the game end, we'll say 5 to 8. There's going to be 1 or 2 really big smokes that go well.
Okay, I'll go the same one to that last one.
Okay.
Right,
We've got
I
a
have more
big
faith
pig
in your
in the
list.
mid. Kits is trying to push it. It's not working. The
We
pig
haven't
is
seen
broken.
Yeah, what's
It
going
is
on there?
literally not working.
30 seconds to battle.
It looks
Doesn't
pretty,
obstruct your path, though.
though. Nope.
Have you tried the conga line yet?
Yes. Oh, now it finally blew up. I was wondering if it ever would. The conga line's pretty fun. I would not recommend doing that against the Dire in this game, though. They have Chrono and Echo Slam, so don't conga line into them.
Yeah,
with or without the item. Do not do that.
Tell me what to not
The
do.
battle begins.
Monster looking for the bounty,
Did not get
and
it.
he's not going to get it. Instead, he's going to take a dual breath and get down to half HP. Does have the level of dragon blood already, so we'll regen most of that up.
That skill point is so wild now. 4 armor, 4 health regen. You go to lane and you just have a free Helm of Iron Will, basically. That's pretty crazy. That's a skill point.
So offlane Dragon Knight, not the most common these days, at least. Feels kind of dropped off a bit. We used to see it a lot more. It's kind of felt a bit underwhelming. But we'll see if Monsters... I mean, Monsters had some great performances in the past. I think the season before last, I believe this when we were casting him. We'll see if he's able to come through. And BNM is another great storyline player that I think played with PPD on the... what roster was that?
I think they were
Optic?
No. What were they called? Was that Sad Boys 2.0 or something?
Oh, yeah. You're right. I think it was Sad Boys.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like this up-and-comer, and unfortunately the team... I thought he played well, but the team just didn't do well at all. He's kind of just been floating from team to team, so would like to see some of these guys, especially these youngsters, get a little bit more consistent play behind them, which is why I'm a big fan of Lil Nick, even though he's not in this game, Cinderin. Just have to mention my love for Lil Nick.
Yep.
Great guy. Has not let Dota turn him into a whiny pile of garbage like a lot of other pro players.
Giant will get a courier snipe here.
That's true. They are pieces of garbage. You're right.
Giant gets a courier kill. Would not have happened against Lil Nick, of course. Would have microed it perfectly, but he's not in this game, so mistakes happen. Lil Nick, obviously prone to never make mistakes. In his attitude, his play, he's just a beaming, positive, perfect person, and you love him. All right, bounty or water runes. Kits is going to get the top one. He's pushed in the wave pretty well here. Soul kind of needs to move. All right, he will move. This was almost one of those situations where as Ember, you could have TP'd to the tower and got the other one, and started building an advantage, but Soul does get there in time. Still a good laning advantage here, currently forming for 5RATFORCESTAFF. They got 3 bounties, and their CS especially... Well, it's not like a major advantage, but just every lane going just slightly better for them. Just a couple of CS in all of them.
A little early, though. As Alpha taking some damage in this top lane. I mean, one issue against the likes of Faceless Void, which, by the way, not using the Arcana, very, very sad DNM. You don't... I mean, I feel like the heroes that you want to lane against a Void are damage over time because he can't time walk the damage off. But in this lane, that's not really the case.
This is a
Shackle,
very easy
guess,
Void lane.
But
it is a very easy Void lane.
Yeah, it should be a pretty free game for him.
I just don't see what the Radiant offlane can really do to pressure him at all. And even if they do, there's Jakiro with double attack speed slow. It's just very hard to get to him. So, yeah, you're right. He should just be farming. At the same time, though, they don't have the best heroes against Dragon Knight either, right? Void doesn't do anything to DK early on in the lane. All you can do is attack, and DK has high armor and high regen. Jakiro did his best to try to pressure, but You see, Monster is even feeling so strong in this lane that he doesn't even go the second point Dragon Blood. He went 1-1-1, which is pretty uncommon, I would say, on Dragon Knight to do in the offlane position. But he's already opting to go for Breathe Fire, so he can try to get a little bit of a better trade on the CS with the damage mitigation onto the Void, or damage reduction rather. See what his next skill point is. That's going to be kind of telling here. He's holding it for now. Second point Breathe Fire. There you go.
Yep. All right. And he is a full level ahead of DNM, so this is actually going really well. Flea doing a good job of making sure that his offlane Dragon Knight is able to get this solo XP for a good amount of time. So you're right. I don't think there's a way for them to kill him at all. And he's going to end up hitting level 6. Yeah, he's 21-10 right now versus the 12-0 of DNM.
10
so
denies in the offlane, minute 4.
He's just using the Dragon Tail off cooldown to secure these last hits.
I mean, this is super textbook stuff for Monster. It's really, really good. Like, we were saying Void is not under pressure, which is true. Like, he's not in danger of dying, but if he loses every second creep to this Dragon Knight, you take that every day as the DK lane. Oh, Flea could be in trouble here, though. Good bash.
Time dilation, bash to follow. Dragon Tail keeps DNM on the back for a little bit, as there's the dual breath slowing down Flea. Ups the Fairy Fire. Not going to be enough, though, as First Blood. Despite the horrible CS so far for DNM, he does get the First Blood, which will certainly help his cause.
Yeah, this is going to push him ahead of Dragon Knight and net worth all of a sudden now. Even with that huge advantage early on for DK, First Blood is just worth so much. And DNM, as a result, will almost have treads flying out. Actually, it is treads. Wow, it's full treads and a tango, so he'll be much more threatening to that Shadow Shaman if he does connect. I'm not sure how big of a DPS increase getting treads on Void is, but it's pretty massive when you have a hero that has a percentage-based chance ability, right? To get that extra damage in against Shaman.
Yeah, and he's holding his 4th skill point on the Void right now.
I reckon he'll go Walk, right? I mean, you can go another one in Lock, but you're only going to use it against Shaman, realistically speaking.
I don't know. I feel like you really think Time Walk. Because the cooldown reduction is great, but we talked about the fact that he's not really under pressure of dying. Don't you just get farming capability with Time Lock and go into the jungle? As we're going to see. Hits and company.
Yeah.
Looks like Flea's going to get off the shackle. Avalanche toss to follow. Searing Chain's a little bit late. That leads to the kill going in favor of Alpha. Oh,
ooh, that
the
is...
Fissure, not the greatest. As Soul, he's going to pop the Fairy Fire and take a Shadow Word and help heal him up.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not a good Fissure, unfortunately. Just counteractive or counterproductive, really.
It happens.
To the move. It happens, yeah. If that one is lined up perfectly, I think they actually get that kill on Tiny. So, you know, pretty costly mistake, but I don't think 5RATFORCESTAFF should exactly go into a mode of panic. You shouldn't in general if your teammates make mistakes. I'm looking at you, all of you viewers, that start tilting at the first sign of a mistake from anyone in your game and get very unhappy. You know, mistakes happen. You make them too. Everyone makes mistakes. So, yeah. Just
Not Grubby. Grubby's perfect.
That's true. Grubby should make a team with Lil Nick, actually. I think that team would be unstoppable. They would win TI at 2v5.
Yes, that's my kind of team right there. That's a team you can really root for, you know? DNM, by the way, continuing to hold this point. So he got level 5 now, went 2 in Time Walk, but still, that 5th point is being held as Monster pops his Dragon form. Not able to really push, but again, he's in a 1v2, and he is in no fear of dying. Bottom lane, have the Avalanche tossed back from Soul. See the Spirit Siphon doing a considerable amount of damage, but Earthshaker's the one to fall. And Speed now on the run.
Yep. This is a very good defense from Alpha. This is, I mean, they bring 4 heroes, but it's an EXO. You want to hold this tower. You want to slow things down for Speed on this DP, who is also having a very good game, right? He's got the Falcon Blade and almost Phase Boot, so he's having the best laning stage out of everyone on the map, as a matter of fact. And bit of a thorn in his side if they keep defending this bot tower against him. That was the first EXO. I would honestly love to see them do it on the next one as well, if they can. Tiny is excellent for this. Speaking of him, he'll find an Arcane Rune.
Not too shabby. Rises. Look at the Bloodseeker. Yeah, Rises CS. Like, his net worth is basically on level with DNM, which I guess is fine, but it's not great still.
Guess it's an offlaner patch, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. This is my kind of patch for sure. No wonder I'm playing more. But Rises finally hits level 6. We'll see if they're able to use this Rupture to find their first Rupture kill of the game. DNM, this wave should give him Chronosphere,
Yep, absolutely.
and
We'll have it
still
now.
holding a point. Still holding it.
I wonder what he's going to buy here. If he's going to go Mask of Madness or Maelstrom Australia. We've seen different builds on Void in the past. You obviously want a farming tool. Some people buy Midas as well, even before either of the other two. He's currently eyeing up a Raindrop. I don't think that's going to make him farm a lot faster. He's going Maelstrom. He queued it up now, buys the Javelin. Out it goes. Rupture bot.
Yep, Rupture.
It's a
Blood
level
right to
4
follow. A nice
Siphon,
fissure
though.
from
They can't kill
Giant.
him.
And Speed is perfectly okay. He's just walking this Rupture off.
Almost.
And he's doing so much damage to Rises. One more Crypt Swarm should do it. Speed runs through the entire Rupture and doesn't care.
This is that thing I was talking about in the last game that we were casting with DP earlier today, was that when you have level 4 Siphon early, and it being flat drain compared to the percentage plus lower flat amount from before, right at this point, DP is a god. Like, he was basically healing the damage of Rupture by having one Siphon running. If he has
And
two Siphons running, he's out healing Rupture with phase boots. He can literally just run around. And they were not expecting that play. That
Oh,
was
he's
a
going to
little-
pop Exo and TP into the Chronosphere here. And
Okay, that's
Monster looks
creative.
to be dead. Yeah, very cool play from Speed. And DNM setting it up with a Chrono, obviously. And now Speed can just go get some farm elsewhere. Meanwhile, Soul and Fleet working on the Jakiro. They'll find that. So it's a 1-for-1, but obviously the more valuable kill going the way of 5RATFORCESTAFF. Fissure stopping the TP as Soul still taking damage from this Exo. Double kill for Speed across the entire map. Really well played.
So until I saw him get that tiny kill, I was actually questioning whether this TP top was worth it just to kill DK. I mean, you used Exo and Chrono for a kill on a core when you could have pushed bot tower. But with this follow-up kill on Tiny, I think that chalks up to well worth it. The thing is, that was probably not pre-planned, right? Like, that just ended up happening at the same time and he took advantage of it. So I wouldn't say I'm too big of a fan of that TP play, even though it was cool and creative. I don't think that was actually impactful enough compared to staying bot. But it worked. So
They probably could have found that kill with a +1 that was not DP, considering Monster
Yeah.
was at relatively low HP.
I guess Ember didn't have resources, because I would much rather see that move from Ember.
I mean, that was like one of those plays that you look at and you're like, technically that might not be correct, but it worked out. And if you could do it over again, you'd do the same thing, actually, in this exact instance. But Tier 1 tower top fortified. Monster, no dragon form for another 15, but this looks to be a tower going their way, which means Speed should be able to at least pressure the Tier 1 bottom. But it's going to be a little bit slower. Yeah, so they might be able to defend this if they want to try. Tier 1 tower finally falls in favor of Alpha. Do they defend this bot lane? They will fortify.
All right, I have a quick quiz question for you.
Oh boy.
How many unspent skill points does Shadow Shaman have right now? Damn it, now it's
2.
0. What was it? Yes, it was 2. He was 1-1-1 and level 5.
What the heck?
That's pretty rare. He didn't know which path he wanted to take, if he wanted the wave clearing burst build with Ethershock or if he wanted more levels in Shackles. So he just kept the points. But ultimately now does commit for the nuke to push out waves, and 6 levels online finally for him in at 12. A bit late as a 4, you would say, to get
All right.
those snakes.
DNM is still holding a point. Can you tell me why? What is the point of, like, surely you're not going to go time dilation level 2.
Oh, a bit mistimed there. Look at that Hex. That could have got very interesting. Yeah, good question. Maybe you do. Or maybe you want stats.
I mean, okay, so
I don't
take the
think you
stats then. What are you waiting for?
I don't know.
You have a smoke now.
There it is. He wanted to TP first. Now he's killing Bash.
Okay, there we go. Level 2 bash, finally. Like it was a little too much min-maxing for my taste. 5RAT are smoked up, looking for an opening. Potentially onto Soul, but you can see that Pingu has positioned himself pretty nicely to stop the smoking. But Rises, they're going to go right into the triangle and find him. And he is going to die instantly.
Yeah, good ward. And honestly, these two heroes together right now are terrifying for the Radiant. Ember and DP could technically win a 2v5 if the Shaman doesn't control them. And that is not an exaggeration.
Oh, top lane, Fissure into the Echo Fleet. He's trying to pressure this tower. Got it to half HP.
Not too bad.
Yeah, could have been worse. By the way, Are we still calling the triangle a triangle?
DNM.
Oh,
Golem.
DNM. He is
Nice
dead.
Golem. Actually necessary there from Pingu. And gets the stun in at the right time, so they get another swing from Tiny after. He was almost time walking. That would have been a tragedy if he got that off, but they timed it well. Find a big pick.
We'll see if he's able to bounce back here. I mean, his net worth is not doing too hot, but again, he's still on par with Rises, who is not quite finished with his Maelstrom either. They're basically on the same trajectory, even though the Maelstrom has come on a little bit faster for DNM. Fissure block and hits. Oh, Soul's going to jump in, take that regen room, gets the Avatos as well, but now he's kind of out of steam. Breathe Fire's there from Monster, but Soul is blocked off thanks to this Fissure, so that's going to be a freebie for 5RATFORCESTAFF, and now a Chronosphere is going to connect onto 2. Macropyre with the Ice Path setup as well. That's 2 kills. It's likely to be a third. Triple kill, all going the way of Speed, who has been the dominant figure in this game number 1 for 5RAT.
He has a halberd.
Radiant structures
Actually.
are fortified.
Yeah.
He has 14 minutes phase boot, Falcon Blade halberd, but let's see if he commits for it. He could also go Kai Assange. Honestly, when you're this strong, yep, there it is. He swapped it over. He changed his mind. He's like, wait, is halberd even worth it this game? I mean, sure, you're against Bloodseeker, but come on, man. You can carry this game. Look how unbelievably far ahead he is right now. 7-0, 8k net worth minute 15. And the Kai Assange is complete. This is going to boost him up in a big way, and the mono region should not be underestimated on a hero like DP. This hero farms like a beast with level 4 Crypt Swarm, so just keep that gold flowing.
And he's definitely having a standout performance in this game number 1. And you can see the smoke now from Alpha. Trying to find something to help them get back in this game. I mean, it's only a 2k lead for 5RAT. As Soul opening it up.
That's the thing, though, right? I mean, we can look at the gold lead and talk about how 15 minutes in 2k, how much is it really? But when you look at the lineups and the trajectory of this game, when you first tuned, hang on,
Dragon Tail, instant avalanche toss, and that is a kill.
So you picked Shaman Dragon Knight, right? And you've taken 1 tower minute 16. You are not even remotely close to getting any of the other 2. And the enemy team has Void, DP, and Ember. And they have very strong teamfight supports in Jakiro and Shaker. I'm a little bit worried that if your laning stage is a wash, or even worse like this, where you're losing and the DP is getting huge,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
the level of execution that it takes to outperform the Dire in teamfights is really, really high. Like, you need to be very smart about how you engage, because you're playing against Chrono, you're playing against Shaker with a combo breaker and Fissure, playing against DP Silence, that's a combo breaker, Ice Path, that's a combo breaker. Like, imagine playing Shaman in this game, how hard that is. You first picked this hero, and now you get to feel it, you know? Like, how is Flea going to reliably get a max duration shackle? That might be why he actually levels like this. Look at his skill build. He maxed Shock, and now he's going Hex, right? He's just putting 1 value point in shackles because he feels like he can't sustain it anyway.
Yeah.
So, kind of tough, I would say. But yeah, it's all about finding the correct initiation and doing what they just did bot to kits. Like, they can do this to the Faceless Void easily for the foreseeable future. They'll have enough damage in their heavy single target burst. So, keep looking for those opportunities.
Speed is worth a lot of money. He is a pinata right now, Cinderin.
Yep. Is he a pinata that's going to try to kill Roche, though?
Pinata that can bite back. A pinata full of knives.
Pingu is dead.
Yeah, he is likely going to fall, but could have been worse. Actually gets the TP stopped as well.
But could have been
Speed
worse
is
if
there.
died faster.
Yeah, he could have died faster. It could have led to a more important kill going the way of 5RAT. As DNM now starting to work on his BKB.
Monster got the bot tower, and as a result, he can now buy his shard in 20 gold. So that's very good news for them. They need a little bit more in the way of, I feel like, just overall wave push to keep the pace up. Get waves out so they can find picks. This is a crucial moment, by the way.
Blood Right's coming, so the little reset here from 5RAT.
They need to burst
Warlock
speed
is
if
now
they
up.
can.
Yeah, and the Golem is available if you can TP in close enough. Oh, Please actually going to jump into the pit. Who's going to get the actual Aegis? It's Speed with the Aegis and the Roche. Blood Right's there along with the Rupture onto Speed, but already a double kill for him and the Aegis still in tow. And you can see he healed up all the way back to full HP, so can just outrun the Rupture again as he gets a triple kill. 10-0 for the Death Prophet. Mr. Speed. Beasting it up.
My goodness. That was actually a promising moment for the Radiant if they had found a burst onto the DP. He was susceptible to being killed, but they didn't have the vision. So Flea just, you know,
Flea in the pit was actually hilarious to
he
watch.
just tumblers toyed into the pit hoping to find DP there. Then DP isn't there and he's like, uh-oh. And ultimately didn't really manage to find the vision at the right time to give Tiny the opportunity to blast DP to bits and maybe open up the game wide there for Alpha. If they find DP and then get the Roche, we're talking a totally different story, but things went the way that Speed wanted. Now he's eyeing up a Linken's, which I found to be an interesting choice here. I don't know if that's the best item. I mean, yeah, you're against Rupture, against Dragon Tail, but like you could also just become unkillable if you bought something like a Heart.
Yeah.
How are they going to
Probably
kill
good.
you? They have no percentage-based damage.
Is Bloodstone not a thing anymore
Except
on
Shard
anybody?
Bloodseeker, I guess. Yeah, even Bloodstone I could see being interesting.
Yeah, they're gonna turn
That's
onto the
dead.
Tiny. Even an Echo Slam expended. He's only able to get off the Ava. And the Dragon Tail to follow with the Fireball. So Shard online for monsters. There's the Rupture on the Speed, but again, this Spirit Siphons are doing so much work. He's gonna get he's gonna outrun the Bloodright. Still running away.
Okay.
All right, he's fine.
Warlock finds the
Dragon
Shaker.
Tail. Upheaval from Pingu. But looks like he's going to be the sacrifice. Getting whipped into submission. Ends up being a 2 for 2. But still, the core ends up dying on the side of Alpha.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Speed changed his mind with the Halberd, which is more of a defensive item because he was doing so well. It's changed it to
I
Saint Sky,
definitely
like
like
you
that
said.
adaptation for sure.
And I feel like you could do the same with this Linken's because it does feel like, first of all, the Rupture has done literally nothing to you.
Yeah, you don't
He's
need
been
to link
rupturing
it.
it,
He's
yeah.
getting it for Dragon Tail, I think, but it's like maybe he wants the value of being able to put it on the Void. Maybe that's the thought process. Okay, he changed his mind. He's going Octarine. Maybe he's doing this on purpose against casters. You know, he's like literally just eyeing up an item and then he'll change it when we've spent a minute talking about it. He'll go for something else. Yeah, I think Octarine's better too. It's just
What happened to my Bloodstone Cinderin? It has been MIA for like a year now since they
Yeah,
changed it.
it's been
I feel like
getting
it's
quite a few
good.
buffs.
It has to be
Yeah.
good.
I think people are probably just sleeping on it a little bit, honestly. feel
I
like
mean,
it should
not
be
to say
great,
that
but-
Octarine is bad, obviously. It's the
Yeah,
cooldown
Octarine's
reduction
amazing.
for Exorcism is pretty damn good. But that
Siphon.
spell lifesteal,
Is under attack.
that spell lifesteal, gotta get it.
Yeah, I mean, you also have the spell lifesteal amp from Kaya Sanj, right? So it's even better for that sense. But I still think on DP in particular, Octarine Core is just such an amazing item that I would agree with this choice over Bloodstone. But I think on Lesh, for example, people are probably not considering the item often enough and kind of just defaulting to what they usually used to get, right? On Lesh, Octarine Core is not nearly as good as it is on DP. It's still good, but it's the kind of hero you want Bloodstone on. Fly by tier 2 tower speed will live up to his name and take that tower in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and
Let's get the outpost.
only a minute left on the Aegis, but they get pretty good value out of it.
Flee with the least...
Radiant
Wait, was that
structures
Shackle's
are
shard?
fortified.
Okay, I thought he just put Serpent Wards and did 100 damage to the tower, but there they are.
Radiant
And drop them now.
The
force the
real
TP back from
serpents.
speed. Let's see how big of a nerd he is. Is he going to deny every Serpent Ward? Nope.
That's what makes you a nerd, min-maxing. So, who do you think the biggest nerd in Dota is? Because there's a correct answer. Min-maxing to the ultimate extreme, Cinderella.
Buka.
No. It's Purge, obviously. My
I
God.
mean, Buka is a bigger nerd, let's be honest. But it's in a good way.
In a good way, yes. And with a smoke from 5RAT into the enemy rectangle.
Oh, could they find
It
this
is
opening? That would be
warded.
huge.
Monsters gets the initiation off. Bloodright to follow, but there's the Ice Path. Echo Slam to follow, but it looks like the Earthshaker will die. There's DNM's Chronosphere. He gets one teammate along with two members of the enemy team, which are all cores, which are all three now dead for Alpha. So only losing the Earthshaker. 5RAT on their way to snowballing to a game one victory. 6K lead. Still time left for Alpha, of course,
Are scanning.
as the Aegis has now expired.
Is under attack.
But keep in mind, this was a team fight without Exo. They didn't even need it. They didn't have it. And they still basically clean house with only Flea surviving. And the thing that's so awkward about this situation is that one of two things is going to happen. Either they get vision on the side of 5RATFORCESTAFF, and this goes even worse for the Radiant. If they would have seen this fissure lineup that they had by placing a ward, they could have probably won that fight even harder. Or Dragon Knight goes in like this, but like if the follow-up isn't instant and finds the burst kill, you just get counter-engaged by literally entire enemy team. That's the strategic disadvantage you're at with this kind of lineup is the enemy team has teamfight in spades, so once you start offering up melee heroes that pile on top of each other to deal damage, you open up for a two-man Chrono, you open up for an Echo, you open up for an Ice Path, Chains, you name it, you know, the whole thing. If you don't have BKBs, the enemy team is just going to abuse you whenever you run in, and only Rises has one, and he hasn't used it yet, so that fight was just completely free.
So not only no Exo, but Giant did not have his Blink Dagger yet, which is now online for the Earthshaker, so initiations are going to be that much easier. He's had his Shard for a while now, so actually not doing too bad.
The standard build this patch in Pro Dota is to go Shard first, because you often can't afford the dagger.
And they're going to cancel that Blink Dagger and easy kill onto Flea. It's been very pesky. Yeah, how much do you think that she's worth right now?
1,500 gold, maybe?
Okay. All right, has Lincoln's queued up again. Speed, if you're listening, time to switch that up to a Bloodstone, my friend. Thank you.
I mean, now that he has Octarine, I think the Lincoln's is starting to get better. Because if you go Bloodstone now as well, I feel like you're like dipping too much into health and too little into defense. I think Shiva's Guard is probably the best item now. I would say I don't think the Lincoln's is necessary. Shiva's would be incredible. You have so high health, so armor is incredibly powerful at this point. I guess Bloodseeker's damage is going to be percentage based with the Shard, so maybe there's something to be said about that.
Yep, true.
Do you know what damage type that is? It's pure, right? It's pure, yeah. So
pure,
yeah.
Max HP damage. It's crazy.
Yeah. So
they did nerf it though, right? Yeah,
that makes a case for not
2
buying much more health, right? And rather buying immunity or some defensive item.
Yep, Flea is dead again.
I mean, he could also buy BKB, right? I mean, why not? It's counters the entire enemy team. He just hasn't needed to. There's a BKB on his Ember, and I believe, yeah, there's also BKB on his Void. So he could get that too.
And I think they can take both of these towers without Exo if they really want.
Rise is trying to trade. He needs to be careful though, Fissure.
He does. Fissure's there. Echo Slam to follow. Force Staff from Pingu as Rises attempts to get out. Gets off the Rupture, and even a Chaotic Offering is used just to try to defend Rises, who pops his BKB. Looking at TP. Looks like he will get out. They will lose the Warlock. And the Earthshaker does die, so Soul able to snipe him out. But still, that's a Chaotic Offering.
And a BKB.
Although Echo Slam was used.
It was. I would say the Golem and the BKB are significantly more important though. And I think if you're 5RATFORCESTAFF now, you push out this bottom wave, one more wave with speed, and then you start looking toward Roche. The early respawn has already passed about a minute ago, so they should feel like, okay, there's a decent chance Roche is coming up. They don't have Golem, so keep looking at that area, keep playing top half, and get yourself an Aegis for the Void. And honestly, high ground should just be on the menu at that point. I feel like you're way too powerful. The Lincolns will be complete at that time as well. He's 30 gold away. You have all those BKBs on your core. Is like, this dire advantage is substantial.
Yeah. It's getting out of hand. And look at Flea again.
Oh,
he's going to be spotted. No, not in time.
Yeah,
Gets away with murder this time.
Trusted DNM there.
Yeah, true.
It's gone for that Fissure immediately. Maybe.
Well, second Roche is up. Shard is available. So expect the next Exo to be used for that. As Lincoln's is now officially online for speed.
They might do it anyway, but I don't know if it's necessary. Don't do it.
I mean, they don't have the fastest Roche team without it.
That's true. Yeah, maybe they have to. Maybe it's too slow without it. It's just that the enemy team's possibility of contesting you is also super low without Golem, right? I guess it feels difficult for the Radiant to take a winning fight here.
And with Octarine, it doesn't feel as bad to pop Exo now as well. As Aegis is put on DNM, and the Shard is for speed, so you're going to get the Fear and extra charge of Spirit Siphon for him.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the better shards in the game. Of course, I don't know how. Now that we're approaching the mid game and close to the late game,
Dire's
not
bottom
really.
tower is under attack.
I want to see what Death Prophet looks like late game with the Spirit Siphon changes. But so far this game, she's looked obviously god tier.
Well,
But
she also has 2.3 second cooldown on
oh,
Crypt Swarm, which is
Chrono
pretty good.
only on the one, but it is the Bloodseeker BKB pop from DNM just to ensure that they get that guy, and they do so. Flea dies next. Monster Bash stops the BKB TP. 3 dead. And nothing to be traded for as 5RAT looking real good.
Just too easy, really. When all you need is a Chrono and the Bloodseeker, and you can more or less solo him because the enemy team has no save against your BKB, it feels real good to play Faceless Void here. There's nothing you need to worry about. Just go in, pop your stuff, your team will follow through, and you'll find big picks. Yeah, about DP, so I was saying, her level 15 talent is honestly pretty broken. The -2 second Crypt Swarm cooldown plus Octarine means Crypt Swarm is a 2.3 second cooldown. Like, it feels like you're watching an ability draft hero, right? It literally just spamming spells.
Yeah, it's like the Death
pretty
Pulse,
crazy.
Necro Death Pulse talent with Octarine as well.
Yeah, that's a 25 though, I think.
And there's a Quickening Charm now, Cinder. Does he take that too?
Oh, he could.
It does stack multiplicatively now, which
Yeah.
it didn't for a while.
But
I mean,
it's
it
still
did, then it
diminishing
didn't, now it
returns,
did.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, is it better than Ogre Seal Totem? We'll see what he values.
Scanning.
It is a really nice item on DP to stay on target, right? Like, you Spirit Siphon someone, you jump on top of them. That does sound pretty
It gives health regen, right? If I'm not mistaken. Which is amplified by everything that she has as well. So
good. Yeah, that's true.
even though it's not that much.
I still like the Seal Totem more, honestly. Give the Quickening Charm to Ember, probably. And Shaker should keep the Ceremonial Robe. He needs the Mana Pool. Tranks.
Now, DNM has the Mjolnir BKB. Aegis is still for 3 minutes. Looks like Lincoln's is next on the list for him.
Did Giant sell his boots?
No. What do
He
you
had
mean?
Mana Boots earlier.
Oh.
Wait, did he disassemble? Where is the energy booster? If he
He's
disassembled and
buying
bought
one.
Tranks. Wait,
I
what
don't remember
happened?
him having. I don't remember him having.
Didn't he have
that.
Mana Boot Shard and then bought Dagger? I could have
don't know.
sworn. And I thought, oh, okay, he's disassembling to build Lens, and then he bought Tranks, but he doesn't have the energy booster. Alright, I don't know what happened there.
He might have sold it to get to get his Blink Dagger, I guess.
He pulled the Ana, but he's on the winning team, so it's okay. No one's gonna. It's not gonna.
Yeah. A little too soon, Cinderin. A little too soon.
My bad.
As Ember is 100 away from finishing Ags, so it's gonna be. That's one of the best Ags in the game, easily.
He's got it now. This is a perfect time to high ground. When this Ags arrives, you have every advantage in the world. You have BKB, again, ready on Void, together with 1.5 minutes of Aegis. You have DP ulti. You have Ember Ags. He's going to jump back here. It does not get much better than this. Go for the siege here. This defense
the
is
Ag zone.
borderline impossible, but you have to try to find a way
Are fortified.
as
Yep,
alpha.
they're gonna have to reset a little bit here as the Fortify takes out all the creeps, but they can go back into the base.
He
Pengu
has
pops the
4k
Lincolns.
health on DP. He got the 400 health talent and finished Lincolns.
Yeah, he's very
See you
strong.
later, Warlock.
Warlock dead. Nice 4-staff attempt, but not gonna happen.
He's doing
And
his
you can see-
darndest top to trade, but
Yeah, they might be got the tower there. Either way, fortification available again because of the new changes. That's something we haven't talked about recently. And now that Exo is dead, it's gonna be a little bit slower, but
but
you
it's
can
still
see
not
with the
dangerous.
defense. Yeah, Albino Zebra in the top lane, able to push back a little bit,
Bottom barracks has fallen.
and the tower survives as a result. But got full set of racks, knowing that the Aegis was online for 30 more seconds. So the question is, will they be able to finish this game before the next Roche? I mean, they should be able to technically, but will they?
Good question. I mean,
Exo up
there's a
for
case to
40
be made
seconds.
for both things. I feel like next Exo they could just go high ground and probably win. But, you know, it's an important game. You can play it safe. You can keep controlling the map. Like, either ways should 99% lead to victory, whichever one of those two you choose.
Just
So
watching Death Prophet. Now that you mentioned the ability draft, shit,
it is insane, this talent, I think.
And he's almost done with Heart, by the way.
It feels like it should be a
Oh, he's
level
done with
20
Heart,
talent, right? That Crypt Swarm one is just insane.
Yeah, it is.
When you consider what other people get level 15, minus 2-second cooldown on your primary spell with such a low cooldown already, from a percentage perspective, let's say you don't have Octarine Core, I think Crypt Swarm level 4 has 5-second cooldown. So you lose 40% cooldown on one of your abilities.
Yeah.
That is insanity. The Necrophos talent that you referenced is minus 2.5-second Death Pulse cooldown, so that loses half. But
I think that's a 20 talent,
25
right?
It's
Oh, that's a 25. Yeah, you're right. As Soul gets to kill on the Giant, but here comes the Chrono from DNM in the cover of the Macro Pyre as well, focusing on the Dragon Knight. They'll get him successfully. Soul pops the BKB, but the bashes will go right through as Speed has come to help out as well. And GG's just called like that. They see that Speed has 5,000 health literally. They're like, okay, that's not gonna happen.
The Bloodseeker popped BKB and Blood Rage on himself and stood there mauling the DP, and she Spirit